everybody, what's going on? Joe Coffey here for PremierGuitar.com. We're in Stevensville, Maryland for Experience PRS 2009. And check out who I found shopping this morning, Dweezil Zappa. Dweezil, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you. Hey, I walked into the wood library, and here you are, you're picking woods for what's going to be a uber custom guitar, and we've got all the parts here in front of us. Tell me about your selections.
Well, you know, it's kind of a daunting task to walk through this library because they have so many nice pieces of wood, and I didn't really have a specific idea of what I wanted, so I was just kind of open to whatever I saw. And this particular piece was brought to my attention because of this naturally occurring, you know, situation where it's like tiger stripe but curly, and some people might be afraid to have something like this because they would say, oh, well, you know, it looks like a mistake. But it naturally occurred in nature, so to me that's more interesting, and I think it'll add some element of, you know, personality to the guitar that wouldn't otherwise be there. I was open to the theme as it developed, and something like this for the headstock versus all of these other lines that are naturally occurring in the wood, to me, they all have a theme because they all are so different, you know. But it's all, like I said, stuff that naturally occurred in nature. So, that's the theme of the guitar: is take the obscure and perverse things that happen in nature and build them into an instrument.
And there's total harmony.
Yeah. Well, I would expect in the end that it will all come together and have more personality than the standard thing where people try to match everything exactly like something they've seen before, because, you know, they do great work here, so obviously people say, oh, I love the way that guitar looks, I want one that looks like that, you know. But I don't want one that looks like all the other ones I've seen. I want one that's going to have a personality that will, you know, be itself a great instrument, but something that I'll enjoy playing, and then it's not going to have a standard PRS shape to it. So it's going to be a really interesting guitar. It's kind of like a 335, but in their mandolin shape, you know. So it's going to be cool. Yeah.
Talk about the guitar we have here. This is one of yours.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing was people said to me, "How long you been playing PRS?" And I said about 20 minutes. You know, because because the thing about it was, you know, the invitation to come here was, you know, pretty much only a few weeks before the event, right? And I had zero experience playing the guitars. I knew about them, but I'd never owned one, and I never really spent any time with one. And so when I got here, this is what they had pulled aside, and it's a great guitar. I mean, overall, it sounds great. These are the PAF style pickups that they're making. They sound great. And it's got a new prototype bridge on it and a great finish. So the guitar felt comfortable right away, which, you know, to play this really hard stuff on a guitar that I've never played, you know, that was something that I was a little bit, you know, concerned with at the beginning, but as soon as I started playing the guitar, it was fine. You know, so that's a great thing.
I wanted to ask you about that. In fact, our ace reviewer, Steve Wimette, passed along this question for you, and he wasn't here last night, but it relates to what you're talking about. There's a concept called guitar nonchalant, and some people are like, oh, only P90s or only, you know, single cutaway, I can only do this, and they won't even pick up other things. He wanted me to ask you if you are that, whatever that, you know, may mean, but it sounds like, you know, the answer is yes. You were playing this for the first time, kind of getting a feel for it as you were going, doing very hard technical stuff, and you were just rolling.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is I've always been inspired by guitars. You pick up any guitar, it tries to tell you something about itself, and you play based on how you're responding to the guitar. Now, some stuff you really need to be comfortable with how you can execute something. You know, if you're going from a guitar to guitar and the string spacing and the fret, you know, the scale is too drastically different. Certain things can be very difficult to execute the way you want, you know. So, and I was really never too concerned with any of that stuff growing up playing, but when I'm playing the Zappa Plays Zappa stuff, you know, it's definitely better to have at least two instruments that are pretty similar, so you can feel comfortable going from guitar to guitar if you have to, you know. But overall, you know, I'm really more of the player that wants to tune into the actual instrument itself. You know, I don't need to have 25 of the same exact guitars with, you know, set up the exact same way. You know, that's not necessary for me. You know, I like to have at least one that I really like, and then something that's pretty close to it, and then you know, some other assorted things to make different textures and sounds. So that's another reason why I wanted to investigate these guitars, because it's just another different sound, and you know, the people that make these guitars really enjoy making them, and they care a lot about what they're doing. And you know, I think I think it makes a difference in the overall playability of the guitar and your experience playing them. So you know, I thought it was a fun thing, and I was happy to be invited, and you know, we got to do this great thing. We'll build a guitar, we pick all the wood, and so that's going to be good.
Well, Dweezil, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.